Hello and welcome to Gladys Cake Kitchen. The year is almost over, so I thought it'd be great to bring you my year in cake stories. I have a selection of 12 cakes plus one bonus cake I made this year, some of which are featured as tutorials on this channel, a few of which haven't yet been made public. Throughout the year though, I have been excited, inspired, challenged and learnt a lot. So without having to waste your time, let's get started. Worth noting, these cakes are not in any particular order. In number 12 comes in this simple naked cake which was made for a lady who desperately needed a cake for Christmas. Initially I declined the order with good reason, but having managed to understand a better reason why I should make this cake, I took the order, and needless to say, it was my pleasure to bring some cheer and joy to this lady and her family on Christmas. In number 11 is this unevenly layered cake put together to eventually achieve a cleanly polished cake with sharp edges. This cake was ordered as a wedding cake in the summer with specific dietary requirements and an extremely short time to boot. I was pleased to have overcome the challenges of the jam spilling out of the cake, turning the cake around into a beautifully decorated cake set up in a Sikh temple. I received positive feedback for the cake on a day I needed to hear that most. In number 10 slot comes these 180 plus cupcakes made for a corporate event and a birthday. These were ordered on short notice on a Friday with 2 hours between 2 days to get these cakes out on Monday at 10 a.m. The staff member who made the order was supportive and helpful, dispatching a company vehicle to travel to the north of the UK to collect the edible prints made by Trish Flanagan of Creative Prints. Trish was the star of the day, gifting me extra items like the edible prints used for my Christmas themed toppers. Thanks Trish, and to Zilia, thank you very much. In number 9 place is this cake that fell apart, and what a mess that was in the British summer heat. I cried my eyes out, after which I dusted myself and got back to work, meticulously putting the cake back together. I was inspired to put this cake out as a tutorial just so we can all learn from this, and I can't say I regret the intention. Nonetheless, looking back at this cake takes me back to the moment and the feeling of disappointment and overwhelm I felt when this happened. Sliding into number 8 is my son's simple chocolate birthday cake, which he was pleased about. This video reminds me of the quick changes in time and the things that happens in a day. When I was cutting up my son's birthday cake, I didn't realize hours later a different story was emerging that would change the course of my year. Having celebrated my son's birthday with my phone out of reach, I returned to some concern in missed calls that wasn't good news. However, the memory of my son and his cake still brings me some joy on the day. At number 7 is this pretty cake I made for a friend after the immediate passing of another family friend. Their passing was unexpected, and the incident leading to their sudden passing began on the morning of my son's birthday. After weeks of funeral planning, this was my first attempt to reset and find some joy. I started this cake without a concept, was emotionally drained and exhausted. The cake came with its own challenges when the happy birthday stamp turned out as Mr. and Mrs., which I was too absent-minded to notice. Thankfully, when I sent a photo to my friend before collection, she noticed the error, which I corrected very quickly before they collected their cake. In number 6 is this simple graduation cake made for a friend at church, a lovely lady who had worked hard and graduated her nursing program and wanted a pretty cake to celebrate. At church, this lady teases me a lot for acting like a princess, which makes me laugh a lot. I could have taken the chance to make her a wonky cake just to teach her a lesson, but that was not my thing. So having been given complete creative control, I put this cake together, and the color combinations of this cake was what was outstanding for me, at least in my opinion. In number 5, I have this pretty bright beauty. This is featured as a tutorial on this channel too, and the cake was made for a loyal customer turned friend. Having been so loyal, recommending customers and speaking highly of my business, I had the pleasure of making this birthday cake as a surprise gift for her on her birthday, which she was absolutely shocked by. We are getting closer to the top, and in number 4 is another 11-inch number for Tom. This is a gluten-free cake for a friend and business associate whose son turned 1. We had spoken about Tom long before he was born, and it was my pleasure to make this cake within 48 hours, and as always, some challenges crept out on me which I managed to make into a tutorial. Funniest part for me is turning a Tony name charm into a Tom, which I think was genius, even if I say so myself. Coming in at number 3 is this very rare number, made for my big sister on her milestone 40th birthday. It was an absolute joy to dream this cake, which was extremely last minute thanks to my distraction with other things. It was collected for an hour's travel, which left the pickup driver in fits of giggles and fear of crashing the cake. The cake got to my sister in one piece, and my heart was full with joy at the happiness she felt about her cake. In number 2 is the 60th birthday cake set up at Marriott's Hotel. The concept of this cake started with a cake stand, which was dreamt up by event planner and decorator Millie of Iliana Events. When the cake was set up, we all breathed a sigh of relief and thought how we could have represented such an idea in its actual form. Goes to show the beauty of artistry is, if you dream it, you can make it, and there's one cake. Before number 1 is a bonus cake I wanted to add on here. Its place is outstanding because this cake brings me back to moments of why I enjoy cake decorating and the pleasure I feel about the kind people I'm honored to work with. Made for a couple who ordered this cake for a summer wedding, calamity struck, and for reasons I can't still fathom, the bottom tier of their entire carrot cake didn't turn out great. To my surprise, the couple were extremely outstanding and understanding and even declined a refund. I was disappointed at the entire experience, but equally grateful for the humanity and kindness the couple showed me. I have since tried and failed to find a way to make it up to them, which they are incredibly gracious about. But it is their consideration and empathy towards me as a small business owner that I am ever so grateful for. All those cake aside, in number 1 place is this mammoth gravity defying cake set up at Best Western for a 60th birthday. I was left to my own devices for this one, recovering from extreme burnout, and I wasn't sure if I could dream and execute an original concept. I had 4 days to come up with this cake, 2 of which were spent deriving a custom structure to set up the cake on. Well, in the end, I was grateful for the challenge, which turned out to be this cake. I have listed 13 cakes here, but I've made a lot more which didn't make the cut. 2023 is over, but a new year is just around the corner, and I'm inspired and excited for the designs and trends for 2024. To all of you 3,000 plus people cheering me on, thank you for your support and for being here. I can't wait to see what the new year has in store for all of us. Wishing you all a happy and prosperous 2024, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.